show. Hi, welcome to the Ron's Basement Show.
Welcome.
It's been a long week, folks. I got to do all this over again for the recording.
Fair enough.
We've got a studio audience today. Bob Lewis refuses to be on the show for reasons unknown.
Unknown reasonings.
So he's
Because
just...
I'm a wanted man.
He's just...
Now you've just outed me at where I am.
Well, you probably should have told me I wasn't supposed to out you.
It's okay.
Way to
Just
go.
have to go on the road again after this.
Just ruining his
Why don't you
life.
turn that camera over there around and point it at you?
No.
Then point it at something so I can switch to it and it'll be funny.
Ah.
Oh, that camera's all messed up.
Uh,
It's like pointing straight up. Been thinking about upgrading the show, and I made a purchase this week. I'm looking at Bob because he's right in front of me. I should be looking at like the camera,
Yeah. Here, I'll scoop it.
or I should be looking at DJ, but not at Bob.
he's not there. He's not. He doesn't exist.
Made a purchase this week. I got a camera. It's a device that's meant to take in a signal from a camera, okay, which then leaves me open to take in another signal through the recorder that I'm currently using, which is actually meant for game capture. So theoretically, I could have two inputs being captured. Now that means that we could like play console games on the Midweek Freak, or we could have multiple high quality cameras
We could
input.
we could play Warhammer.
We could
and-
play Warhammer.
Play Warhammer.
Yeah.
We could do that anyway.
Well, I mean, you could have a camera that's on the table,
Yeah,
and then a camera for
yeah,
like the room.
yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, we could totally do that. I'm pretty excited about it. I got a delivery in the mail today that I'm planning to probably do on the next Midweek Freak or whenever I get that input thing. Pretty hyped up for that. Although I think some people are going to be, I don't know, they're going to be upset about it. TTV, Cryptices, what's up? What's up to you, Cryptices? Crypticize? What do you think? How do you think that's pronounced?
Cripses.
Cryptices.
Cripses.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. We're upgrading the Ron's Basement Show slightly.
Right.
Just slightly.
Starting off with today's big news.
What's today's big news? I don't, Bob with the hydrate button. Really, Bob? Hot water? What the fuck?
Slam that
You gotta-
hydrate button.
Yeah, if you're gonna
Keep Ron hydrated for the show.
If you're gonna set up a hydrate button, it should at least be a thing.
Well, that pops up or whatever. I don't know how to do that.
No, I meant for you. If you're gonna just hydrate.
Thanks for the follow, Cryptices.
Hell yeah.
Hydrate. Are you trying to like make it like you mean I need to do more show?
No, I just meant like if like what's the point of getting you to hydrate
well, see,
if it isn't like
I'm currently suffering from a kidney stone,
well, that's true.
so I need to drink a lot of water. I got another hydrate.
I'm going to tell you now, if we do the Shocky game, I'm going to make you hydrate during Shocky games.
I'm not going to do it during the Shocky game.
Then you're going to fail your viewers.
Well,
But what I meant was that's why you got hot water. Is like if you're getting punished to hydrate.
Ron doesn't think he should drink water outside of active kidney stone situations. That is not true.
It's absolutely true.
I drink water every day.
He hates
I don't
It's
drink enough
inside
of
of
it.
a
I
soda.
know. But I've talked about this. Your body has a gauge. You know when you're hydrated, and that is the color of your urine. Got another hydrate.
I don't think that's 100% true. You do need to drink more water.
I will say that the hydrate thing can only be redeemed 10 times per stream because I foresaw a situation where people would spam the shit out of it.
Dick.
That
Then you better.
defeats the purpose.
Then every single sip of that, you have to drink like
Like
it
a
down in
giant-
that.
In,
Yeah.
in tenths.
Yeah, it has to
I
be
had to-
intense.
Oh, what? The fuck?
You set the limit.
If
I
there's
didn't.
only 10 hydrates
How the
to
fuck
it, you
do you
need to have the whole thing
chug
drank.
How in the hell do you drink a...
By the
drink
end of the
it?
10th hydrate, that needs to be gone.
I guess-
Otherwise,
all right,
your
fine.
soul disappears.
In the future, what I'll... throw me a fucking marker. Throw me one of those
Whoa.
markers.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! You don't have to start dropping the F-bomb yet.
All right. We got a marker. You're right. It's not that much water. It's not that much water. Did I claim it was that much water? I don't recall claiming it was that much water.
Heather is being the peanut gallery from outside of the room.
I like this seat. I like this role. Being back here, hassling you from
Engineer.
behind the camera. Yeah.
Uh,
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10. There are 10 sections on that bottle. I will make sure. You can't just type in the word hydrate.
Well, I thought that's how that worked.
No.
I don't know how
Here.
I got it to do it earlier.
Here, take this.
put the marker back on the page.
Thank you. So I owe you guys. Let's see. I've done 3 hydrates, so I owe you to there.
Yeah, he's gonna do it. He's gonna drink the water. You drank too much. Oh,
I drank a little too much.
Oh, you ruined it.
All right. Damn it, Heather. Now there's like black mark on my hand.
Put it back.
All right.
What's funny is you can almost see it on the screen because the bottle gets all weird in front of the green screen. But
Really?
you can still see
Oh
the
my
writing,
God.
kinda.
Okay. Cool.
Jesus.
What was I talking about? Yeah, we're upgrading the Ron's Basement Show. I added an icon. A what do you call it?
Emote?
An emote. Bob, if you're gonna fucking talk during the show,
You have to sit
why
on
don't you
the
just
chair.
begin the fucking show?
You have to be in the chair.
No.
Like if you're not gonna talk.
Alright, I'll be quiet.
You're just gonna sit behind the camera and talk.
you
At least let me cut to you. Turn that
Yeah.
camera around so that I can cut to you when you talk. I added an emote. Everyone use the emote if you're a subscriber.
What's the emote?
The emote is an exploded pizza roll. Get it? Like, that's how you know that the pizza roll's done. That pizza roll cost me $40.
It cost you $40 to have this?
Yeah, to get someone to draw a pizza roll that exploded, and then in the form of an emote.
It's not letting me do it. Whatever.
Yeah. Oh, that's a Dorito.
Dorito pizza roll.
Oh, you know it's done because it exploded,
That's
and that's just true.
it's just terrible.
I don't know if people on the show can tell, but I got a new desk. As fans of the show may recognize, this is not the normal Ron's Basement Show desk.
It's coming up in the world. That's
Did
what I was
anybody
talking about
notice? I'm mostly referring to Kyle and Rachel, since they're the only ones in this who aren't in this house.
earlier. And TTV Crypts.
But TTV Cryptus is, I think this might be his first time watching. TTV Cryptus is this your first time watching? I don't know if it is or not.
Is it hotel desk?
It is not a hotel desk. This is a
Oh.
desk that it did come from Jacob, but it was not from a hotel.
I'm
He
curious.
gave it as a gift to Maddie, but it's too small to hold all Maddie's stuff that are on his desk. So I took it and put it down here for the Ron's Basement Show. Now, Bob's initial instinct was to destroy the desk for the show. He said you should destroy it for the Ron's Basement Show, which to me
This spectacle.
it's a fucking I don't know how to say this. It's cheap. That's a cheap laugh right there.
Cheap.
Also, it's ripping off Eric Andre, which I'm not.
Oh, I didn't mean destroy it in an Eric Andre style. I meant some other more over the top
what
fashion.
he meant.
Like
in
drop it
your
off the top of my house or something.
Yeah.
yard. Yeah, there you go. That was
This is
great
actually
off
a
the
fair-
top of your head.
This desk is actually pretty sturdy and heavy. Like it's like real. This is like real wood. This
Yeah.
is no
Yeah.
particle board.
No, it looks nice.
Hydrate.
What are we at? I think we're at 6 hydrates.
Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did 5 hydrates.
God.
I'm not gonna break the desk. I like the desk. The only thing I think is that this chair is maybe a little small for the desk. I feel like I'm a little low. I'm a little low in the seat, but I'm also afraid that if I get a little higher, like if I got like a little higher, then suddenly I'm like towering over you. You know what I mean? Like
you already do sit over. Who's
I'm
next.
already
Hear me,
yeah.
mortal.
I'm like way taller than everyone.
If you scoot over there and look up to him like a child.
Yeah, like your head would be
Yeah.
like here,
Yeah.
and I guess that it solidifies my domination of the Ron's Basement show. Get a lifeguard
God,
chair.
You can't even see him. Like his
Yeah,
body
you
is
just see
missing.
my feet. Like just like my toes are on. I'm just
Welcome to the show.
That would be really hard because the ceiling down here is only probably 6.5 feet tall. Like it's not very. This is a basement.
Well, guess we got to do it outside then.
Like I'm touching the ceiling right now. And a
It's-
megaphone. Oh, you know what? I want a megaphone. But Heather will not allow me to have a megaphone. We've gone through
You
this.
cannot have a
I found a
megaphone.
cheap megaphone on Amazon. And I
Oh.
said, how funny would it be to have the megaphone and be on the Ron's Basement show just be like yelling into the megaphone, or to have Reggie meow through the megaphone. I think that would be fucking hilarious. But Heather is absolutely opposed to it, and because I love and respect her, I have not bought a megaphone. Maybe I will now. Since she refuses to be on the show.
God damn it.
Maybe.
Oh,
It's been a long week, folks.
it's been a very long
I got my yerba mate.
Yerba mate. Ugh.
Does this count as hydration?
No.
No, just
It's
water
not water.
counts.
Water is hydration.
Well, other liquids count as hydration.
You cannot.
What is this emote that Heather just did?
Wild
is that
eyes.
a cat? It is highly caffeinated, and caffeine does dehydrate you. It contains 2% juice. So how's the kidney stone? Well, let me tell you all the story. It's fine. I haven't seen any news. And by news, I mean I haven't pissed any more blood since the initial operation. Since the initial initiation of the kidney stone.
Hey.
Hydrate.
I think it's 6 times. Doing it. Doing it well.
I haven't seen any more sign of the kidney stone, but that is usually how it goes. I'll see like the initial thing, and then it'll be a while. It'll be just long enough for me to think that the kidney stone is over. Be like, oh, it was a fluke. I must have just got punched real hard in my kidney or something. I don't
What the hell is going on in this house?
And then like the next day, that's when I'll piss a bunch more blood,
Oh.
and then my back will start to hurt, and then eventually my boys will start to hurt, and then that's how I know that it's getting bad. But I do go to the doctor next week, so when I go to the doctor, I'm gonna ask him to prescribe me some Flomax, which is a real name for a drug that lets you pee out kidney stones faster.
Hell yeah.
It gets the flow maxed.
Out.
It actually
a gamer. Talking in gamer terms.
Flomax is weird because it's also a a drug that is meant for people with like enlarged prostates. So like when you're on Flomax, you just piss so much easier than normal.
Dear God.
It's like maximum piss. And then when you come back, when you get off the Flomax, you're suddenly like, oh, you know what? I have to actually try to piss now. Like, even slightly.
Maddie, go back to bed.
Yeah, there is a man who comes... It was bullets, technically. Bullets. I will get out the sign.
Oh.
We talked a lot about Star Wars in the last Ron's Basement show. I know neither of you really watched it.
I didn't get. Yeah,
I only watched a little bit of it.
Yeah, we talked a lot about Star Wars. Talked about our feelings about Star Wars.
Oh, God. That'd have been positive.
It was fine. I mean, we all liked some things about Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Maddie made the statement that Star Wars Episode 3 was the best Star Wars.
Oh. It's a hot take.
Maddie's a special
that is
boy.
A very hot take.
Maddie's a very, very special boy.
I don't think I agree with that.
No. No, I don't even agree. I don't even agree Episode 3 is the best anything. It's bad. It was like a rush job to get caught up to the other series.
If you've got like 3 piles of dog shit, and you're like, that one's the best one though.
Why is that?
It's still dog shit.
Yeah, it's still dog shit.
So like, who cares?
That's the worst thing in the world. Yoda fighting Palpatine was the dumbest thing ever, and everybody was so hyped about it for no reason. God.
What else is in the news this week? I've given up on wearing the suit every week.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Should I address that?
No.
Should I just let it go and pretend like it's not happening?
What suit?
Right. I tried for one episode to pretend that the midweek freak didn't exist, and then Bob broke into the basement,
Didn't know that
sat
we were
down, and
supposed to talk
immediately
about
referenced the midweek freak.
Didn't know. It wasn't supposed
Switch to a tracksuit with a gold chain.
Oh.
We can get the Slav look going.
Yeah.
It is your second season of your show
Welcome
now.
to the Ron's Basement Show.
You could change your outfit
Play the
every
music.
season.
I did one time wear the coat
Intro's gonna be
jacket
by Little
with a
Big.
t-shirt, but it was a Mike Bloomberg t-shirt.
Yeah.
You guys, hold on, let's just take it.
This is a recap episode.
I like kind of have a headache right now, just thinking. Do you guys? Do you
That
guys?
seems like that was years ago.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Do you guys remember when the height of comedy was when I came on the show with a Mike Bloomberg t-shirt?
That was really good.
It was very good.
It was
and
very good.
and
All
I had the Mike
posters,
Bloomberg
all the
sign.
money.
Yeah.
We had 3 different shirts. Heather wore a Mike Bloomberg shirt. I think Jacob was on the show that week and he wore a Mike Bloomberg shirt. I wore a Mike Bloomberg shirt. Oh, it was Harley. Heather says it was Harley.
Yeah.
My bad. Harley wore a Mike Bloomberg shirt.
Made a Mike Bloomberg game.
Yeah, you have that Mike Bloomberg game. And then it seems like that wouldn't even, that's not even funny
No.
anymore. You know
No.
why? Because coronavirus ruined comedy.
How can you say that when your show has thrived through the coronavirus?
I mean, the coronavirus was great for the Ron's Basement Show. And now that everything's unlocked again, the Ron's Basement Show is suffering more than ever. Right? We've got no viewers. Half the viewers of this television show and this Twitch.tv show are in this house right now. Because Maddie is watching, Heather is watching, you are watching. That's 3. That's
Of the
3
5.
of the 5 viewers.
And the other 2 viewers are at another house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, man.
So the coronavirus, I'll say this, I think things are going to get locked down again. I don't know
Oh,
if you
for
saw in Texas, they fucking locked everything
Yeah.
down again. I bet they're going to start locking shit down again in Ohio and Michigan because the numbers are going up. And baby, I'm roping them back in. You have nothing to do on Saturday nights anymore.
Motherfuckers, you ain't going nowhere.
Ryan's Basement Show is all that there is. Nobody wants
This is a really big money ploy by you and Bloomberg to really... He's like pulling out all the stops for you to get your show.
I did him a favor.
I can actually hear Heather's like
he owed me a
silent
favor.
screaming in the other room. It's like, oh god.
It's not loud enough.
It's not loud for us, but it's pretty loud for them.
Yeah.
You guys, tell me if this is loud.
It's not.
It's not.
Tim
Allen got nerfed.
Oh.
Watch this. See, it stays the same volume for us, but for them, that blew out their eardrums.
Oh, beautiful. Jesus.
Man.
Corona sucks.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty freaked out.
Yeah.
Getting pretty freaked out by Corona again.
Yeah, we had a good talk about it yesterday with people who were like, I mean, we talked, it was like Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati are going to ruin it for Ohio. Like, for sure. They're going to get us locked down again real quick.
What Steam sale games we getting? Boy, let me tell you about a game. It's called Satisfactory. All right, I played it last night with Heather on Heather's stream, twitch.tv/DesRosier, DesRosier. Fucking A, man. Satisfactory is the game, dude.
So what do you do in Satisfactory,
You build a factory. You build a factory.
Just a factory?
You automate processes. See, when I play games like Minecraft, you guys know this. We play Minecraft together. We've played Minecraft together for years, off and on. Not continuously, but off and on. My favorite thing to do in the game Minecraft is to make automated shit. Right? So I make auto smelters, which they make really easy. They add all these parts, hoppers, droppers, what are the things that shoot stuff out? I forget what it's. Dispensers, stuff like that. And I take that stuff and I automate stuff. I make automatic farms that do the farm. All you have to do is plant, and then the rest is all taken care of. All this type of shit. I love doing it. Okay, this game is just that. All it is just automation.
Tons of
automation. You're making fucking cool. You're making a smelter that leads into a constructor, that leads into an assembler, that leads into a storage box, that leads into a fucking space elevator.
That leads into coupons.
That you then feed into coupon thing. It's fucking
don't understand why you don't just put everything into the coupon machine.
I could put everything into the coupon machine.
Yeah.
I could build more than one coupon machine.
I saw.
You just changed the game.
Wait, yeah. I saw a review for a game where you're like a
job simulator
constructor or a deconstructor in space, and you
ship cutters.
Is that what it is?
I think it's called ship cutters. I could be wrong on the name of it. I wanted to try that too.
It looks
Ow!
pretty cool.
Damn! There's a whole thing under here. Let me.
It's
how many people can play? Not ship cutters. What is it?
Satisfactory.
Satisfactory though.
Oh fuck! That's not what it's called. What's it called? No wait, I put shape cutter. Hold on. Ship cutters.
Put turd cutter.
Yeah, ship breaker. That's what it is. Hard space ship breaker.
Yeah, that might be it.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, Satisfactory is early
Satisfactory is early access. I'll tell you what. You say it said it sounds like work.
It is.
I don't feel like it feels like work though. I think it's just fucking fun. It's like super satisfying to automate a process that you were doing manually just a few minutes ago. Like I finally just got to the point where I automated the power, right? Which is that early on you have to like pick flowers and leaves and turn them into biomass and then burn the biomass in your biomass burners to generate power. And now I have a coal plant that uses water and coal to generate power, and it fucking as soon as I hooked that shit up and I saw my power levels just start soaring, the serotonin. It feels so good.
Oh my god.
It was fucking awesome.
It's amazing.
And then you can also tame an animal in that game, and Heather tamed the animal, and then almost immediately it was killed.
See, Kyle gets it. He's a job creator. He doesn't throw garbage away. He leaves it on the ground for people to clean it up. Because he doesn't want to take people's jobs away.
Jesus.
Automation is great when people are taken care of when they don't have work.
You bastard.
He doesn't put his cards.
You terrible human being. Jesus.
Yeah, I kind of want to play Ship Cutters. What is it called? Shipbreaker? I want to play that
Is that
game.
what it's called?
Yeah, you want to play it?
I think it's single player.
Is it only single
I
player?
think so.
Throw it up on the screen. Let's see
Yeah,
what this looks like.
let's take a look here.
Yes, you can find a trailer. You owe like a ridiculous amount of money to the company, right? So you're constantly trying to
It's the road
make
trip
money.
special.
In what? In Shipbreaker?
I think
But-
so.
So like all this space stuff is reminding me. Do you guys remember the the shooter that was it was like Shattered Horizon or
Yeah.
whatever? Yeah, and like you were in a spacesuit and you float around and you would like
Yeah.
do flips and shit and shoot stuff.
I'm
That
gonna
game was
read
dope.
And we've only just begun. So again, thank you.
The Lynx Corporation is also very grateful for your free feedbacks and ideas.
Okay.
Look at the dude, he's
In
cutting
this
up that
video, we
shit.
have 10 important tips
Yeah,
and tricks
it's a fun-
for
it
all
looks
you
fun.
cutters out there to help you keep your credits high and your death counts low. Number 1, learn the grapple. The grapple tool is vital for moving heavy and dangerous objects that are floating in space. The pull function can
Do you
bring
just
light
launch the
objects
trash
towards
from the
you,
ship into
or
the
bring
earth?
yourself
No,
towards
it's got like
objects
a
that are far
field that
heavier
it
than you are.
grabs.
Careful though, if you pull too fast, bad things can happen. Also, when you're trying to pull fragile components out of tight spaces, you can rotate grappled objects by rotating yourself. Number 2,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
practice the cutter. Remember the old adage, measure twice, cut once. Because in Shipbreaker, sometimes you only get
Whoa.
one shot. The powerful split saw head mount for your cutting tool can quickly slice through large walls with its searing hot laser. But it can also damage valuable components and accidentally
See, this looks
sever
tight.
through
I just like this.
behind those
I like
walls.
planning. Oh,
Your
get out of
split
there,
saw
bud.
can make both
You only get
horizontal and
like a
vertical
few
cuts.
minutes though to do the
And you
whole
always
shit.
have the
Oh,
option to
really?
switch
Yeah,
to
you
the
only have so
stinger
much
head mount.
time. And you
Oh.
keep running out of oxygen, so you gotta go
Number
back and
3.
buy more oxygen.
I'm okay with that, but I don't like the idea of you have to rush through it. I want to take like
Your magnetic
45
gloves can be
minutes
used
to
grab
just
and hold
fucking
onto metal
break
objects
apart a
and walls.
spaceship at my
Use
leisure.
them to
I wonder if there's
stabilize
just like
your
a
aim
free mode that
or
you can just do
cushion
that.
yourself from high velocity impacts. Hands can also be used to
The
carefully
guy
move
saw
and
talked
manipulate
about it, said that
objects
once
around
he
in the
had
environment.
done it a few times, he
And
basically
come
knew
in
how to
handy
do
when you're trying
everything.
not to get sucked out of an
So he could
airlock.
like
Number 4.
blast through a ship
Tethers.
in like
Tethers
2
are an
minutes.
advanced upgrade feature for your grapple tool that pulls objects
This would be
together
sweet in
once
VR.
they're activated.
Yeah.
Larger
I feel like it
objects
would make
will
you
pull
fucking
smaller
puke in
objects
VR.
towards them,
Yeah.
while tethered objects of similar mass will pull themselves together. Using
Cool.
multiple tethers increases the strength of the pull. So if you stack enough
I like
tethers
a game with
together, all
tethers.
pulling in the same
Just
direction,
add
you
tethers to
can
most
move
games,
almost
I would be
anything.
happy.
Refilling your tethers does cost precious credits.
like
Age
the-
of Empires with tethers.
Tethers.
Especially
Yeah.
early in the
It's like the best part of Just Cause. It's the only reason why that game's any good.
So is this is single player? It says single
Yeah.
player. Damn. It'd
got
be cool
full
if it was
audio, though.
multiplayer. I do like Deep Rock Galactic too. Deep Rock is a fun game.
Elite Dangerous, I heard, is sweet, but like that's a game that takes forever to get into.
I have Elite Dangerous, and I've played a lot of it. You can use a controller to play it, and it actually works pretty good.
I know one guy at my old job had like a full setup, like all the different
HOTAS?
controls and things.
Cool. I always wanted a HOTAS. Heather, can I get a HOTAS?
Are you gonna play?
Yes.
Are you gonna play the AC
there you go.
130 Warthog?
It's an AC-10.
AC-10.
Warthog. A HOTAS means hands on throttle and stick. It's a stick, a joystick, plus a throttle. I need to move over a little. Throttle, stick. Hands on throttle and stick. You like this? See what I'm doing here?
Hydrate. Yeah, we should get the hands-on throttle and stick for Total War.
Here's the thing about how many do I have left? 2, because I have 2 slots left.
I think so.
Okay, so let's talk about Total War Warhammer, because that is an excellent game. Let me tell you that right off the bat. Just so you know, I'm not opposed to you getting Total War Warhammer, but do know that Total War Warhammer is not. You can buy that, but you do not get the full fucking game.
Yeah.
I know this because I tried to play with Bob, and he was like, get Total War Warhammer 2, so I bought it. And we get to go play with each other, but Total War Warhammer 2 requires you to own Total War Warhammer 1 in order to get everything that's in the game. Now, to be fair, everything in Total War Warhammer 2, or excuse me, everything in Total War Warhammer 1 is also in Total War Warhammer 2. So it's like you own one of them, then you buy the other one. You can play all of them in the second game. It's quite complicated, but also if you're gonna get into that game, you're talking about like $120. Like it's a lot of money.
Warhammer? A lot of money? No.
Yeah, right. I guess you should just expect that with Warhammer shit. And then there's all kinds of DLC. They got a Blood Code mod, where like it's called like Blood for the Blood God, and you pay like $3, and it makes it so that the whole game is just fucking gory and bloody. And that's definitely something that you're gonna want to get because it's fucking cool.
Jesus.
But it's just expensive, man. It's just expensive, and also you got to keep expectations realistic, because you're gonna play one game, and it's gonna take 20 hours or more. Me and Bob played a game for probably 40 fucking hours.
Yeah,
and it wasn't even close to being done.
Yeah,
we just gave up.
maybe a quarter of the way through the map.
Yeah, we just gave up and started a new game. They make you pay for gore, and there's a reason for it. The reason being that it lets them get the game rated T for teen, and then you make the blood mod a thing that you have to pay $3 for, and then suddenly it's gory and bloody like an M-rated game. The game is completely playable without it. Nothing changes in the game when you buy that gore mod. It's
a little more satisfying when something like rips through stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
You've already spent $120 on the game. You can spend another $3.
That's how I justify a lot of really stupid purchases, Bob. Yeah, I've already spent $1,500 on the Ron's Basement Show. I might as well spend another $150 on this plug-in device for a camera.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Is the engine different for 2? No, it's the same.
Yeah,
it's the same game. They just added a new campaign and called it Total War.
They added
and a
twice the races.
Yeah, they added a bunch of new, dudes to play. Yes, it would be the same experience. You just would have less of it. I think, from my perspective, Total War Warhammer 1 probably has the most stuff, and then 2 adds a bunch of other stuff. But it's not like you got twice as much. I don't think. That's how I see it anyway. I'm gonna bring up a controversial topic, and I'm just gonna spoil this now for the midweek freak. I should I not spoil it? You're shaking
I
your
don't
head.
know.
No.
I'm okay. I don't know what it is. I can't.
I want to kind of take the temperature of the room, I guess. Is there a way to do polls in Twitch? Can I do like a poll? How do you do that? Do one of my mods have a poll? Poll/poll. Poll. Poll. How do I do a poll, Heather?
I don't know.
Poll. I want to poll the chat. There's a game, very controversial game. Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
On the dashboard for your first poll, click create a new poll button. Alright. So you'd have to go to your dashboard to do it.
Well. Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. I think I'm gonna play it on the midweek freak.
Yeah, go for it. It's a game you like playing, so
I bought it.
yeah.
It's in the rare replay.
Yeah.
Which I bought, and I have an Xbox One.
Yeah, the rare replay is fantastic.
So wait, how do I do this? I'm in here. Poll.
Mhm. It's probably here. Okay. There you go. It's rare replay. But yeah, I think that'd be interesting. As long as a game you want to play, like.
We got a poll up in the chat. I figured out how to do a poll.
I see it.
Well, we got Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts on the midweek freak. Yes or no? Do we do it? I love Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Everybody but you, Maddie. Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts only gets shit on because it was not what people wanted. People wanted Banjo 3, and they go, yeah, we're not going to do that. And
Right.
so it pissed off everybody.
Right.
It is not a bad game. It just is not the game people wanted. And due to the fact that it didn't sell very well, Microsoft was just like, yeah, we're not pursuing that anymore. Go play
Right.
Kinect.
Right.
And threw Rare at the Kinect thing, which apparently they did fantastic with and made tons of money off of. Surprising.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, good for them.
Well, then they lost all their creative.
It's using the Banjo name to fucking sell a shit game. That's not true at all. It's made by the same developers of Banjo-Kazooie. If they wanted to make a different game, they could have just done it.
Yeah.
If they could have just done it. They made other games before that. Viva Pinata,
Mm-hmm. Viva Pinata's amazing.
Gone with the Ghoulies. What's that called?
Grabbed by the
Ghoulies.
Ghoulies. Yeah. Cameo. Cameo's really good.
Cameo, yeah.
It's the later half of Rare, so it's not like they're like golden era titles,
Right.
but like they're still solid.
I was gonna say, yeah, that game I think is underrated. Underrated. I think what I'm gonna do though is because the beginning of that game is a little slow, which I think is probably why people get turned off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Pulls over Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts on the midweek freak ? Answer is yes.
And you learned how to do polls today.
And I learned something. Always great. What was I gonna say? Oh, it's super underrated. The creativity involved in it is awesome. It just has a slow start, so you don't get a lot of parts until you've done like the opening tutorial. and like that game doesn't make itself known of what it is until you get a bunch of parts to play around with. So I think I'm probably gonna like sometime, I don't know, at some point I'll go through and I'll do the tutorial, and then I will just get to the point where I can get enough parts so I can show off like the building stuff, because that's the fun part of that game.
Yeah, like that's not a bad idea to like start somewhere where you feel comfortable that you can actually show good content.
Right.
Yeah. Matty, you're just bad at all opinions. Like, like opinions are supposed to be like, okay, you can have your opinion, but you're just wrong on everything.
I'll say that. Yeah, thank you, Kyle, because Cinnamon Life is a cereal. Yes, Life has already got cinnamon in it. It's already a cinnamon cereal. It doesn't need any more cinnamon. It's good. It's good. It's good.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. A lot of people don't like that game.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No.
All right, that's That's fair. That's fair. I'm glad that you are. Did you vote in the poll?
Yeah, I said yeah.
Okay. All right. I respect you.
I've never played it. I've seen Bruce play it a whole bunch. I think he liked it.
Mm-hmm.
You hydrating? You get to hydrate there?
Hydrate. I think we got one more left.
If only we could find another source of water. It's so scarce.
Some more hot water. Drinking like Tommy Wiseau.
What?
Glass of hot water.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not easy to drink hot water. It's getting closer to room temperature now, but it's still above room temperature.
What if we
I didn't make it like boil.
Why did you get me hot water?
Because it's like I said, you were like, hey, there's a hydrate button. Would be funnier.
I had to
if
limit
when
it
you went to drink it. And you went, oh my god, it's hot.
Well, dude, okay, you go to drink some water, you don't expect it to be hot water.
That's what I mean. That's why it would be funny.
Okay, Kyle says the well is dry today. I had to limit to 10 drinks. You guys are gonna piss me off, okay? I limited it to 10 drinks so that people wouldn't just spam it and I don't spend the entire fucking show drinking and pissing and drinking and pissing. Okay? Limited
In
it
the
to 10
shower.
drinks.
This is why we got the extended desk. He's got some little extra piss room down there.
Yeah, I got a fucking bucket under here that I'm just whizzing in constantly.
Oh man, you should make that a sound effect. Like just like filling up a bucket.
Why, Banjo?
A lot of people don't like Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. They wanted a third Banjo game. You were never going to get a third Banjo game. Rare wasn't making Banjo-type games anymore. The era of the Rare 3D collectathon game ended with Donkey Kong 64, a mediocre game at best. Mediocre game at best.
A game that had such a problem with like its coding, they had a memory leak, and they just had to use the fucking RAM expander.
Yeah, you had to buy the expansion.
Yeah, just so they can turn it from 45 minutes of a memory leak to 6 hours to last on a memory leak.
And they knew what they were doing. It's not like they were like, oh, we're going to trick everybody. Mm-hmm. At the beginning of that Banjo game, maybe I should do the tutorial just so you can see the beginning of that Banjo game, because at the beginning of the game, Banjo's like super fat from like not doing anything for so long.
Oh yeah, they just shit all over everybody in 1 and 3.
Yeah.
By the way,
and
like
then
the
first thing you do is you just like walk up a hill, like collecting a fuckload of stuff, and it's like, and then after you do that for like 2 minutes, it's like you didn't really think this was gonna be the game, right? No way. And they throw that shit out of there.
And they just insult you the entire time. And it's like, who wants to play collectathons?
Troll. They trolled you. Nobody wants to play those kinds of games in the year 2008 when they came out.
No, we want to play the type of game where I automate a fucking...
Yes!
Banjo-Kazooie.
The way you play Banjo-Kazooie.
Bureaucracy Worker 2022 is the game I want to play.
Oh, that game is pure fucking...
It's 4-player
dopamine,
co-op, by the
just
way.
poo.
4-player co-op.
Ooh, huh?
Hey. Huh?
3 people here plus Heather. We could make a sick-ass fucking factory.
You know damn well I'm not going to do a damn thing in that game besides drive
Kyle
the car.
says, I wish Banjo could hold Akimbo P90s. I'm sorry to say that actually in Banjo Tooie,
Yep.
there is a first-person shooter section that's like based off of the other Rare games, which are GoldenEye and Perfect Dark.
Yeah, it was really cool. As a matter of fact, it wasn't based off of those. It was like the precursor to them actually doing those.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, well there you go.
I'll have to check the time frames, but I think that was it.
There you go. So Banjo Tooie has first-person shooter sections. Fucking Banjo Kazooie nuts and bolts. If you're playing that game right, every single challenge you do, you should be recreating your cart. You should be making a new cart, right? And if you, I can't wait to play it because I want to go through and just look at the leaderboards, because that's another excellent thing they added in that game. Is if you do really well, your run is like recorded and then put on a leaderboard, so that like you can go look at it and see how other people built their cart and how they did it.
I've never given that game a fair chance. I will say that.
I'm telling you, man, we're gonna play through it on the midweek freak. I'm really excited because I really enjoyed that game.
There is there is a little bit still like rare flavor in it. Like in the beginning town square, if you climb up on a certain thing and kind of glitch to a jiggy before you get the vehicles you needed to, it'll actually laugh at you and like be like, "You can't collect this yet. I know what you're doing. You get back down there and play the game right."
That's awesome. Yeah, that game is filled with a lot of stuff like that. It has a lot of that same Banjo Kazooie humor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of like everything's rhyming and making stupid jokes, and you're fighting against Grunty, I think is their name.
Yep.
I played, Kyle says, I played Donkey Kong 64 when my uncle gave me an N64 for my birthday. That sucks, man, because Donkey Kong 64 sucks!
So another game you should try.
That game is
when it
ass.
came out.
It was fine.
Yeah, no, I remember playing a lot of Donkey Kong 64.
All 64 games suck ass to play now. Like, you'll go back and do them.
I challenge you
Yeah.
to go back and play Donkey Kong 64 now,
No.
and then go back and play Donkey Kong or Banjo Kazooie. Banjo Kazooie holds up. Donkey Kong 64? No fucking way, dude.
So, here's the thing, too. If you go back and play the Rare Replay, you also get a game called Jet Force Gemini.
Oh, fucking love Jet
Now,
Force Gemini,
The
man.
best part is, the worst part, when you played it on N64, it sucked. Like, if you go back and try to play it out, what they did was they redid it with twin stick shooter.
Ooh,
Yeah,
so you use both sticks?
Yep, so it plays like a modern game, but it's also a thing.
I never beat that game because in order to finish that game, to get to the actual end of the game, you had to collect all of these. You had to like save all these little teddy bear guys. It's one of the games where I got in trouble. One of 2 games where I got in trouble for printing out the entire guide and my parents' printer.
Oh, yeah, off of Game FAQs. Just
Yeah,
like
I printed off an entire game FAQ, and of course we had, at the time, it was a dot matrix printer, so it printed all backwards, right? So it printed all out. I had to fucking take it, rip off all the edges, and then flip it all over, right? Took fucking
4
forever.
hours of printing. It's like...
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it seriously like printed like overnight. It was crazy. Got in some trouble for that one. Not allowed to use the printer that much.
No, Ron. No more printer.
But fucking love Jet Force Gemini. Never could find the last guy. I was missing like one guy. Careful, bud. I was missing like one guy, which sucks.
Yeah. I think I ran through it back when I first got Rare Replay. Because it was like one of the only
Hold
games.
on a sec. I printed off parts of the Final Fantasy VII script? Like the dialogue from the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't like the Final Fantasy translation notoriously terrible?
Yeah.
Get ready.
sneeze.
Dad, I'm not there to record it.
Somebody's gotta clip it.
Someone's got to clip it. I'm not there to do it.
Somebody
this time.
clip it.
Dabbed again.
Clip that.
He's gonna play Fortnite on the midweek freak. If I stream Fortnite while they're also streaming the Christopher Nolan movie, am I gonna get copyright strike?
Oh, fuck. It's alright, I clipped it. I think I clipped it.
Got it.
Hopefully it was within the 30 seconds. It's hard to say. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Donkey Kong 64 sucks.
The controls make it really hard to like
Jet
go
Force
back.
Gemini.
It's very good.
Yeah, you're
go
right.
back.
And the N64 controller is probably the one of the worst controllers
Oh, yeah.
if I'm objective about it. I really enjoyed my N64 time, but dude, that controller kind of sucks.
Yeah, going back to even play like GoldenEye.
It's like almost
fucking
impossible.
unplayable.
Yeah, it's like impossible to like control like any modern game. I don't know. Where's Harley? No, we don't. Harley's busy.
Harley has given up on the basement show. It has put Ron into a predicament, and he's been awful. He's got kidney stones now because he's not here. It's just... It's not good for his health.
See, the N64 is the biggest nostalgia game for me. I have like almost no nostalgia for like Xbox games or for GameCube games. All my nostalgia is like rooted
You
in
don't
the
have
Nintendo
any
64.
nostalgia for Halo 2?
Well, that's...
Not really.
I do, but, like, that's different.
I'll tell you what, I
I
downloaded
love
that
a lot.
Project Cartographer that my brother plays a lot.
Yeah. It's not great.
It didn't do anything for me. In fact, I felt like when I started playing it, like, damn, Halo has aged poorly.
Yeah.
Like, this Halo 2 game is slow as fuck.
Mhm. It's pretty bad.
Halo 2 was a fucking awesome game when it came out. I don't understand how people still love that game so much. I just don't get it. Me and DJ were playing Titanfall 2
God.
on
So
Thursday.
good.
It's so fucking good, man. It feels incredible. It's like one of the best feeling games ever. Like you're just running, wall running, double jumping, wall running, double jumping. Fucking Titan grabs you out of the air, throws it in its chest, and then you're fucking gunning dudes down.
It's
Man!
so good.
Man, Titanfall 2 is so fucking good. Man! Is there an online...
Yes.
I can hear myself scream. Why don't you go ahead and mute that?
It was muted earlier.
Engineer, you're doing a
Must have
terrible
stopped
job.
being muted for some
Is there an
reason.
online presence for Titanfall 2 or just the single player? Titanfall 2 just re-released on Steam, so there's more players playing it now than there were, a
When it was
year
released.
ago.
Yeah.
Like, I have gone back to Titanfall 2 here and there over the years. Most recently, I played it in like April, May, and it took probably like, I don't know, 2 to 3 minutes to find a match. When me and DJ were playing on Thursday, we were just in matches right after the other, no
You
problem.
would still get the thing of like where when you go to join a match, you would get the same people
Yeah.
usually. But like, still though, we were getting matches super quick, and it was insane.
I tried Battlefront 2 when it came to Steam and returned it because it took 10 minutes to find a match.
Yeah, Battlefront 2, that game had some problems.
I get the impression that Battlefront 2 doesn't have a lot of players except for in very specific modes.
Yeah.
I see a lot of clips of Battlefront 2, the all-hero mode, on TikTok all the time.
Now, are you talking about like the original, or are you talking about the new one?
Well, I don't know. The new
'Cause-
mode or the...
No, like Battlefront 2, the original, or Battlefront 2,
No,
the
I'm
new
talking
release?
about Battlefront 2, the new one.
I was talking about Kyle. Okay.
Oh.
Because I didn't know it came out for Steam.
Yeah, a lot of EA games came out on
I
Steam
s-
around the same time that Titanfall did.
Are the people that are playing Titanfall 2 right now just like blowing everyone out of the water?
No.
Good.
We lost a lot of games, but we also won several. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a complete blowout every time. We were pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
In the attrition mode, which is the main mode that everybody plays, you play up to 650 points. And the games where we were losing, Except for like
One.
maybe 1 or 2 times we were within like 50 or 100 points when
Yeah.
we lost.
There's one we dropped. We were at 300.
Yeah,
points.
there was one where we just got completely fucking trounced. Was that the one with the guys with the Krabers?
Mm-hmm.
Just fucking annihilating people one shot from across the map. Like, those are the guys that never stop playing.
It's like, I was like, oh, these poor kids. It's like it's hunting ground time.
I've only
Christmas Day.
OG for a long time. Are those servers down now? The original Titanfall? I don't know.
No. The new
Oh, the new Battlefront?
old Battlefront.
Old
the servers
Battlefront?
are still up.
Yeah, I would imagine they're
Yeah.
still up. I doubt anybody's playing it, though.
The whole thing with Battlefront 2 is that, like, again, the whole controversy was, like, the sense of pride and accomplishment from EA, where it was like, oh, here's all this stuff that you guys can get for the game, but you have to either do microtransactions or something else to get the things you want in the game. And it was all over the place. It was missing features, and generally, its first initial release played well, just not great. So
Right. I think, yeah. There's a thing about those Battlefront games that has bothered me a lot, and that is that in the Battlefield games, when you are getting in a helicopter, you're running up to a helicopter, you're hitting the A button or pushing E, climbing in the helicopter, and then taking off and flying. In the Battlefront games, there's like an icon on the ground.
Yeah.
You walk up to it, and then your dude like takes a knee, and then suddenly you're just in a fucking TIE fighter. I want to walk up to a TIE fighter, jump in that son of a bitch, and start fucking gunning dudes down. I want to learn how to take off in a TIE
Yeah.
fighter.
but the problem
I
is,
don't know why they didn't literally like just reskin.
so here's the thing.
Two
The reason
Star
why it's like that is because it's very, very hard for them to maintain that on a certain level of like graphical fidelity that they were going for. So it was easier to not have the vehicles on the map because the
Yeah.
game would run like shit. So what they did is they just had like the vehicles spawn in the air, and that way they could limit the amount of people who could be in vehicles.
Yeah. Didn't DICE shut down a ton of their regional
Yeah.
offices too? Yeah, I think they did.
That's just classic EA though.
I think the problem there is that a lot of those DICE games, I mean, DICE has been putting out like a game every year for years and years. They've been swapping between Battlefront and Battlefield, back and forth, and I just feel like the quality has gone down so much. I read she said rip, so I said rip.
It's all right.
Um,
But that's the other thing too.
yeah, Bad
though.
Company 2 multiplayer
Fantastic.
remains my favorite Battlefield game multiplayer.
Yep.
Fucking love that.
But like, look
Fucking loved it.
at like what EA does to its quality. It's why everybody looks at like Respawn and they're like, what's going to happen with Respawn?
Well, I actually think I'm actually staying positive about that because instead of like destroying Respawn, they took Vince Zampella and they're like having him work with DICE, and I'm hoping that him working with DICE means we'll see higher quality Battlefield games and not less good quality Respawn games.
yeah, but
I
that's
don't
like the
know,
whole
though.
thing. Is like they also have BioWare, who is their like stepchild, like their redheaded stepchild. now.
Right.
They don't know what to do with them. They can't produce anything. Like, what was the game they released? Anthem. Did you play Anthem?
No, I had no. I from the moment I saw it, I knew it was just like this is not a game that I care about. Like this is not something that.
It was a very different game. You can tell by when you play it, they wanted to do a single-player, story-driven game, and somebody came in with a suit and said, "Make it like that Destiny game."
Yeah.
And they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh." It's like, yeah, Kyle.
Yeah, it's pretty much it was a loot based sort of shooter.
But like the loot didn't matter, and then they got to a
Yeah.
whole point of like 3 months later they did like
that
Mastercraft.
thing- Is that what my stream looks like all the time, or is it just fucked?
No, I think it's messed up right now because we're all probably on the internet.
Well, maybe you should hit pause on the stream and then just chat.
Yeah. You've got it right in front of you. You're literally in the camera position. You're seeing what they're seeing.
I just didn't think
Yeah.
about the fact that the chat and the camera probably aren't connected.
What was I gonna say? Fuck, it was about
Anthem.
Anthem. Yeah, Anthem. I think the thing that sucked the most about Anthem is that you got like the real impression that like they probably not only did they burn a lot of goodwill with their audience with Anthem, but they probably burned out a lot of people who were like passionate about that single player story driven game at the actual studio too.
Right, and they got the 1-2 because that's when you got Andromeda, which was a mess and a half.
Right.
And then you can't do anything with it, and then you get Anthem that comes out that's supposed to be like, this is our A team, this is our big moment, and the game sucked. Like,
yeah,
I didn't realize it came out until well after it come out, and it didn't seem like it was worth it.
No.
I mean, I don't think I've ever actually seen anyone play it.
Did you see that somebody logged on like well, it was like 2 months after New Year's, and they still had all their Christmas decorations up inside the town square.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, come on,
Maddie
man.
says, do you think EA will try to do a No Man's Sky with Anthem? That's what they said
They
that they
did,
were
yeah.
going to do. They said, we are going to continue adding stuff to the game and add in all this extra content. And then they released a, what do you call it, a roadmap
Yep.
of all the stuff. And then they got off track of the roadmap. And then suddenly nothing ever happened with the game again.
They came back out and they said, we are going to do an Anthem 2.0 relaunch. And
Right.
it was a couple months ago, and they're like, we're no longer following the roadmap because we feel like continuing this is a dead end. Like, we need to actually redo core systems of the game and give people what they want.
Right.
So, you know, I mean, I would kill it. Like, if I was EA, I would just be like, Anthem's dead. Like, let's put you guys on BioWare. Go back, put your A-team on something else. You know, come up with a new IP, honestly. Anthem was supposed to be that IP. It's dead. You killed it.
I like how Maddie says, I can't wait for Dragon Age 4. I was about to say, like...
We just spent like an hour
I know.
shitting on EA. We're like, BioWare and EA for how terrible they are. And
I know.
Oh, but Dragon Age 4 is going to be great, guys. It's going to be fine.
Dragon Age hasn't been good since Origins. Why bother? That
Sure.
is correct.
Yeah?
That is correct.
Oh.
Oh, man. Dragon Age Inquisition, for me, was such a fucking disappointment. I felt like so betrayed by that game because I was so into the, like, depth of, like, character, of classes and characters in Dragon Age Origins. So when you go to Dragon Age Inquisition and suddenly, like, you don't have, like, you have, like, 4 or 5 abilities and like, it's basically just the face buttons, right? Y, X, B, and A. Like, I was like, dude, where's all my fucking moves, man?
So
where's my shit?
I feel really bad for BioWare because, like, internally EA was like, use Frostbite. That's our baby. You guys have all this stuff that has to be figured out for Frostbite. They didn't have quest systems built into it. They didn't have movement. They didn't have anything. So, like, everything that you see in Dragon Age Inquisition was hand-built, created just for that game from BioWare. And they're like, they missed tons of timelines because it's not like there's no system built in that they could use or copy like they were using for like all the Mass Effect games and stuff like that in the original Inquisition or Dragon Age games. So like they just had to start from scratch. And then what was happening was as they were building, EA was looking at the people who were doing the best, plucking them and throwing them to the Anthem team. So anybody who would excel at building in-game engine sets, they would get moved out of it and have to like go on and do this. Insanity. Just that game was just like screwed to fail. It was like, we know the kids are waiting for it, but we'll know you guys will buy anything, so here.
That's another thing I will say. They were talking about Frostbite in the chat. That's another thing I'll say that I'm glad about Respawn, is I don't think that Respawn will ever willingly go and make Frostbite games. Like, the first 2 Titanfall games, both were Source games. Apex is a Source game. I want to say that Jedi Fallen Order, is that what it's called?
Yep.
I want to say that's also a Source game.
Nope.
It's
Unreal.
Unreal? Okay. So, I just don't think that they're going to switch to Frostbite.
Maddie, Frostbite had good lighting like 10 years ago. Frostbite's they need to do, well, we're on Frostbite 2 or something, or I don't know.
Speaking of game engines.
Yeah, because Frostbite was for Bad Company. So Frostbite 2, I think, came out for Battlefield 4.
Battlefield 4 was also a good game.
That was
Yeah.
the one where like buildings collapse, right?
That was cool.
That's,
you could
that's
flood. You could
Frostbite
flood the
2.
one level by like blowing up the
Yeah.
dam.
You could
That's Frostbite 2.
buildings could collapse in Bad Company also,
They
Yeah.
did, but
but not like in Battlefield.
in Battlefield 4 when they released Frostbite 2 was when the physics were like.
You could
when
knock down
things
like
broke
a
in-
skyscraper
Yeah, when
versus
things
like a
broke in
two-story building
When
or
things
whatever.
broke in Battlefield, in Frostbite 1, it was like a big shard of wood.
Right.
Yeah.
But that in Frostbite 2 was like granular.
Right.
Yeah.
You could blow up. You could blow up the houses and stuff and like knock out sniper nest. Anyway,
Yeah.
speaking of game engines,
Oh, I was gonna say, you know who needs to update their engine is fucking Bethesda. And I've said this before, but I'm
Everybody.
so fucking sick of Bethesda games and all those stupid glitches.
and it's dumb because, like, stop buying them. Like that's all you have to do. Like I don't know why people keep doing it.
No, I need to buy.
I will buy the next one if it gets good reviews, but
Yeah.
but then at the same time, a lot of those games, like I don't see a situation where those games get bad reviews, not because they're like
Mama engage.
there's just so much fucking momentum, right?
Yeah.
That like at some point it is impressive. Skyrim is an impressive game.
Yeah.
But it's also got all the same fucking bugs that Oblivion had.
Mm-hmm.
Fallout 4 is an impressive game, but it's also got all of the same fucking bugs that Skyrim had. And I'm so tired of that shit. Like I don't want to
also-
have to fucking use the console commands to fix stuff when the quests break for some reason. And like I don't know how people play those games on consoles. I played Fallout 3 on console and got stuck
Do you remember?
in the geometry of the world, and I was just done. I had to reload like an hour's old save and start over.
Do you remember
I never
Skyrim
played
on
another one of those
PlayStation
again.
where it was so fucked up with like the timing of how it worked, and the
yeah.
dragons would fly backwards?
Yeah, I do remember that. It was like super buggy on PS3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the modding community was fixing it. Then they decided to splinter off the modding community into their own little private marketplace.
You know what's funny is that I am willing to tolerate all of those bugs in a game like Morrowind.
Mm-hmm.
And there are even there are Morrowind code fix patches that fix a lot of the issues in Morrowind. But like I don't even need to use those to like feel like I'm having fun with the game. But like I don't think I would go back and play Skyrim without using patches and stuff like that. Like I don't know. I just don't think that I could enjoy those games again. I'll play the next one of their games. The next one's Starfield, right? I'll probably play that, but I'm waiting for reviews. It's not going to be a game I pre-order. I'm not going to pre-order it just because of Fallout 4. Like I'm done with it. Like I'm done with the jank and the bullshit and the constantly having to fix the game by using console commands. Getting stuck in geometry in the same ways that I was getting stuck in geometry in fucking Fallout 3 12 years later. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
Outer Worlds is okay.
It's also like 20 hours long.
Yeah, that's the
right?
problem. It's
like-
not. It's not what you want it to be.
And it never was gonna be. I think is
No.
the thing is like Outer Worlds is like an independently developed kind of game. Like it's made by Obsidian, which is awesome because I think Obsidian does great work. But they're never gonna have the budget or the
Well, now
the
they are.
time. Maybe
Well, they're owned
because
by
they're
Microsoft.
bought by
now.
Microsoft
Yeah.
now. But who knows what is Microsoft gonna give them that budget?
Yeah.
Hopefully, that would be awesome if they did. If they gave them the budget of a Bethesda title, that would be great because that game is just fucking Oblivion. Like the way that game works with the zooming in on people's faces and shit.
It's fun. It's solid. They rebuilt the engine completely or it's Unreal, but they rebuilt it so it works like
Yeah.
what you wanted it to. Like it plays like Fallout and it plays like Oblivion.
And from what I was told, like a lot of it gets rid of a lot of the jank that you would.
It works.
I'll tell you what.
That's the thing.
I think that game's gonna come out on Switch if it's not already. It might. Heather, is that game out on Switch now?
Yeah.
It is out on Switch now, and I was thinking that I would play it on Switch.
You know why? Because it's gonna work, and you don't
Yeah,
have.
I feel like I kind of was like waiting, like, damn, I'm gonna play it on Switch, because why the fuck not?
It's super charming and really fun, but it's also like it's also by Private Division, who is part of Rockstar. So like it was a joint effort, but it is Obsidian's IP, and they can continue working with it, I think. But that's cool.
Did anyone play MK11 on Switch? I did not, but from what I understand, it still runs at 60 frames a second. It just looks bad.
Yeah, it looks really jank.
I saw an interview that they did with Ed Boon on Giant Bomb, and he was talking about how like they were going to make it run at 60 frames a second no matter what. Like that's it has to run at 60 frames, whatever they have to do.
Is it who did the port for that? Was it Iron Galaxy?
I think they did it internally. I think NetherRealm did that one themselves. Borderlands on Vita was Iron Galaxy.
Yeah,
for sure. And from what I understand, that game was okay on the Vita. I bet it wasn't. It's definitely not ideal. I don't expect it to look good, but
yeah, I would be surprised if Iron
Shiver
Galaxy
ported it to Switch. Okay, I take it back. It wasn't NetherRealm. Shiver.
I don't know.
Shiver. Well, in any case,
'Cause I remember Arkham Origins. It was so bad, and that was ported to PC by Iron Galaxy in like 3 weeks.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that, and I remember people in a fucking uproar about that.
Oh, it was a huge piece of shit. And then they're like, well, Warner Brothers said it had to be done in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's still a mark on your guys' company. Like,
Right. Say no next time.
and then Iron Galaxy released their very first developed in-house game that wasn't funded by anybody but them. Nobody remembers it.
What is that? Is that kick? Dive kick?
No.
The fucking shooting game on Kinect.
Nope.
Fuck. What is it?
It is a game where you had to fight giants and you had to cut them down.
Oh shit! I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yes.
Like what? Like that anime?
Yeah, it's pretty much like Attack on Titan, but it's
Wow.
like it's just like these giant orcs would come in or
Oh,
ogres.
I
Yeah.
remember that. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, and apparently it was a fine game. It just was like no marketing budget whatsoever, and it was Iron Galaxy trying to break out because at that time the thing they were doing was Killer Instinct, and Microsoft stopped that for whatever reason.
Didn't they? Is that game still getting updated, or
No.
is it's done?
It's done, but like the only reason it picked up speed again was because Evo had to go online. And every single game has shit online except for like a handful, which is like MK11 and Killer Instinct and Skullgirls. So all of those games got picked back up, and we're like, okay, here's your solid titles. And
I wish I could get into fighting games. I just suck so bad at them. I have to if I'm playing a fighting game. Here's me. Here's a reenactment of me playing a fighting game. Pause. Look at the move list. Look through all the moves. Close it. Pause again. Look at the move list because I've already forgotten everything I just looked at. Close it. Pause again. Look at the move list because it's forward, back, forward. Okay. All right. Unpause. Try to do the move. Doesn't work. Try to do the move. Doesn't work. Pause again. Look at the move. Oh, it was down, back, forward. And I just do that over and over again and never remember any of the moves.
I always hate dial-up combo stuff like that. There's certain games that handle it very well, but then you get like Mortal Kombat's gotten a lot better. But man, for the longest time, Mortal Kombat was just the miserable dial-up combo. Like back up, down, back up, A for like a fireball. And it's like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
I like the new Mortal Kombat games. I like the new Injustice games with that cool story mode. Those are really fun.
Yeah, Injustice is probably my favorite stuff.
I like playing them. I suck at them. I put them on the easiest difficulty and just, whoop the computer's ass because all it does is punch and do nothing else. And I get to see the cool story. Yeah.
It's awesome.
I still haven't played Injustice 2.
It's super good.
Yeah,
I like that game
I've heard
a lot.
good things. I still haven't... I probably won't play MK11 until they put out their next game.
MK11's pretty fun. Blaze Blue is very fun, but again, it's one of those, like, you gotta put some time in the lab to understand anything.
I'm overdue for a really good story-based game.
Right?
I haven't played a good one in a long time.
I guess you got Cyberpunk 20.
That got delayed again.
Yeah, but I mean,
Can I
But it's
say
also like 80
something?
hours.
Let's talk about Cyberpunk 2077.
Sure.
Let's talk about it right now. cyber, future technology, right?
Yeah.
Future technology, fucking implants,
Yeah.
cool stuff like that. Punk against the system, right?
Sure.
Working against the system, like punk music,
I understand what punk means.
cyber punk,
Okay.
future, but against the system, right?
Yep. What?
Do you see any of that in any of the stuff that they're putting out for that
No.
cyberpunk game?
No.
It's all aesthetics and no
Yeah.
content. It's all, yeah, dude, it's the future and it's grimy and we got
Isn't that
neon
what-
lights, we got
hold on.
neon signs, we got the low glow, right? That's what they call it in Neil Stevenson novel. Low glow, right? All the logos everywhere, lighting everything up. But they don't.
Isn't
Where
that
is the
what
statement?
Johnny-
Where is the?
Keanu Reeves' character, he wakes the character up. The whole point is he's like, oh, we're gonna burn the
Wake
system
up, samurai.
down. Yeah.
It's time to break some shit down.
Yeah.
Where?
But what does that mean? Like,
how, if I knew
they
that,
need to
we
sell
would-
me on
why
it. That's
would
what
you
I'm.
play
This
the
is what I'm
game?
saying. They need to sell that part of
Okay.
it because right now all I'm seeing is the cyberpunk aesthetic, without any of the actual like content or statement or anything of that nature.
So
right?
I think they spend so much time on it, like so much money, that they're scared to put that stuff in to like not attract the right audience. You got
to. Like, I
It's got to be. There.
if you think about seminal cyberpunk stuff, right? If you think about like the cyberpunk stuff, the things in cyberpunk that like define the genre, right?
Did you see William
it's
Gibson
got-
said it looks like a GTA clone?
Did he really? I was gonna say like William Gibson. Like, hey, here's the thing: is like, oh, like one of the things they have is like, oh, we've got sex workers in our game.
Okay.
Okay, but what are you saying about that? Like,
Yeah.
shut up, Google.
Please don't look
Fucking
up
A.
sex workers, Google.
I'm not sure. My signals must have gotten crossed. Let's start over.
Shut up.
Now, so Google can improve, it would help to know how satisfied you are with my response.
Not at all.
How would you rate it if 1's the worst and 5's the best?
Off. Turn off. This is the kind of shit they should be fucking talking about in Cyberpunk.
That's what I
Is your phone just fucking goes off for no reason. It fucking starts surveying you on how it's doing. That's Cyberpunk as fuck. How do you satirize
boring.
stuff like this?
Boring dystopia.
The world is already fucking satirized. The world is already beyond fucking irony. Like, we've moved past it. So how do you fucking satirize? How do you find the irony in shit like your phone asking you if it's doing a good job? I don't see any way around. And then so you got this cyberpunk thing where it's like, yeah, dude,
When you're fake,
we got sex workers and they defend themselves. Okay, but
Okay.
what do they defend themselves from?
When your
Why?
robot kidney asks if it's doing a good job.
Like right, yeah. Am I doing a good job? How do you feel, bud? In a cyberpunk thing, like
Cyber pet
in a
detective.
cyberpunk world that has sex workers and like a brothel, okay?
Yeah.
Does that mean that sex work is legal? Does that mean that like there's a company behind it? Is it a corporation that is now, is this a thing that's fucking advertising in the middle of Times Square, or is it just, hey, we thought it would be cool if there were sex workers in our game? Drake.
No, you're right, and that's the whole thing where they can't actually. They need to really express like what are they doing in the game? How are they focusing on that world?
What are
And-
you saying? What
Exactly.
are you trying to say?
I think the problem is that you think that there's gonna be a social commentary
There
in
should
a
be.
AAA
Yeah.
title game.
There should be, though.
But it's a AAA title game. They're not gonna offend anyone. They want everyone to buy their game.
I'm a fan of cyberpunk stuff.
I understand that. Hey, I'm all down for some crazy game with like real social commentary. That'd be great. Cool. But it's a AAA title game. It's never gonna offend anyone.
And that's fine, but I think that I'm getting my voice out there right now and saying, fuck that.
Yeah.
Like, have something to say. If you're going to use the aesthetic and you're going to do something in that universe, have something to say more than we're just using this for an aesthetic. Because right now, that's what it looks like. It looks like a skin on
I'm
top
sure
of
that is all that's
a
happening.
GTA 5 first-person shooter.
I'm sure that is all that's happening.
I can't get down with that. So we started this conversation with, well, I want to play a good story-based game. If that
I mean, you
story
can still have a
doesn't,
good story without it being a social commentary.
But
Not
I
that
don't-
That would be
but that's not.
bad.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, you could have a good story without it being social commentary. Absolutely, I agree with you. But what I want out of a cyberpunk game is social commentary.
Well, yeah,
want-
and that should be what it is because that's what cyberpunk is. But
that's the tradition of the genre.
yeah,
And I think it maybe that's the fucking irony of it, or in it, or like the satirical part of this. Not satirical. I don't know. Don't ask Sir Richie. He's not here, man. I'm sorry, Richie's not here. Is that? What was I saying? That a humongous company is spending hundreds of millions of dollars on a game that should be critiquing a company that spends hundreds of millions of dollars on
I'm sure there will be.
on an aesthetic that they want to.
I'm sure the game will have a bunch of like.
Pseudo commentary.
Yeah, it'll be like very like safe commentary, but it won't.
Corporations are bad.
Yeah,
Okay, I got it.
But
yeah.
they won't like lean in. They won't look into why or try and. I'm sure it'll be like. Everyone should just be treated
So,
equal.
here's my problem.
Here's another thing
It'll
though
be
that
very
I want to.
basic stuff.
Here's what I so when you said like, oh, it's a AAA game, but they can't have anything to say. Okay, or they don't want to have anything to say because they don't want to offend anybody. Why doesn't anybody ever say that about movies? Like blockbuster movies often have things to say, right? Maybe not every
The
action.
Avengers.
No,
Yeah.
not the Avengers, but other fucking movies.
Yeah.
Like
what AAA title movie? What movie that cost $500 million to make had?
Like The Irishman is the one I'm thinking of, right? Where on its surface, this is a movie about gangsters doing gangster shit, but also it's about the character that De Niro plays, like interacting with his family and the estrangement with his daughters and the kind of like the disconnect between him and real people, you know what I mean? Like normal people who live a normal life, that kind of thing. Like there's more in that movie than just gangsters doing gangster shit.
I don't
And
know.
I'm not saying that. And yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I don't know
anything
that that's
that's
even a
it didn't-
AAA
it
title
didn't
movie
do-
though.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like,
And maybe
not
it's
that it's bad or that it didn't cost a lot of money. I mean, maybe it does register as that. I don't know.
In my opinion, it's like De Niro, Al Pacino, fucking Joe Pesci.
First movie Joe Pesci's made
Right.
in a decade.
Like, yeah, I think in my opinion that's a big movie. But you're right; it didn't release in a theater, right? It was on Netflix.
I saw it in a theater.
Did you really? Oh wow,
Banana Arbor.
cool. Did they just fucking hit play on Netflix?
No, it came out before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It had a limited release. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that like, hey, question from the chat, Lopezilla, has Richie ever been on the show? Just curious. No, Richie has never been on the show.
I was
I've
actually gonna
asked
ask you
Richie to
yesterday.
be on the show. He wants to be on the show, but he lives a little further away. He lives about an hour away, which of course doesn't stop these guys from being on the show. But
Obviously, it does.
I think the thing is that like a lot of people will say like games don't have to say anything, or games don't say things because it's so expensive to make them and they need to sell so many copies in order to break even, and like a AAA game saying something about society is like unrealistic, but nobody says that shit about movies. Like nobody says that about books. Like a best-selling book can have a lot to say, and nobody's like, "Wow, I can't believe that."
To be fair with that, books involve way less people to produce.
Of course, that's true.
We're talking about like
Movies still take a lot of people to produce. Not maybe I don't know how many people it takes for games compared to movies. Probably more
for
than
major games, it's like
game.
hundreds of people. You know,
So probably still more people work on movies than on a game, but like, I don't know.
the most you'll get with those movies is like the Oscar bait titles, which are the ones that are like heavily painted with like the most sad story they could possibly do, but it's super surface level. It's like and it's actually relatively cheap for them to make the movie too.
What about like Parasite? I mean, that's a movie that. Do you think that costs a lot of money to make? Probably not.
I bet you,
as much as
I bet you it costs. I'm gonna guess $30 million. I'm gonna look
the whole thing behind Parasite, we're starting to find out now, is that they just wanted to basically take that guy's stories and like Americanize them. Like apparently there's a Snowpiercer TV show.
There is, but he didn't write that though for that to be.
No, he's fine. Yeah, I'm nothing against him.
Did they build the house for Parasite? I mean, I doubt that they found a house with like a secret bunker.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for Parasite.
Way to go, asshole.
11 million for Parasite.
Yeah,
that's actually pretty cheap.
Yeah, that's not a whole lot.
That's fairly cheap.
And they did build
the house, yeah.
So it was $11 million house.
I don't know. I just feel like you can have something to
But
say.
that wasn't an American movie.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
But like again, movies are known though too for trying to push boundaries on issues. Games aren't that known for. I know there are games that have, like War of Mine, is one of those famous games with like a commentary.
But those are always like such small
indie.
titles, indie titles.
I'm telling you, game studios don't want to offend people.
I'll tell you a game that is actually really good, and you should probably play this, Bob. You would probably like it. It's called Spec Ops: The Line.
Yeah, I've owned it for years, and I've never got myself to actually play it.
There's like 5 minutes of that game that are good that everybody talks about.
No, I think the whole thing is great. I think the whole thing is great. I think it's awesome. It's basically Apocalypse Now, but in a video game.
Yeah.
Right? It's cool. Like, it's just a cool fucking... Apocalypse Now is a movie that has some shit to say.
Yeah,
like,
really good.
Yeah, I don't know. I get disappointed whenever I see something about Cyberpunk, and it's not. It seems to just be all flash, no substance.
Right.
Like, and I love The Witcher, Witcher 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a game that really has anything to say, but also it's not something I expect out of it, because that world is not based in our own.
Yeah.
Right. It's a foreign world with a almost alien-like environment, like in some ways. Like, there's
monsters everywhere.
Right, monsters and magic, and this Kyle says it's an excuse to dump folklore, which is true, right?
Perfect.
It's a lot of like Eastern European folklore, a lot of like Polish folklore, stuff like that. Germanic folklore.
Infinity Ward claims they're not a political company.
Whatever.
They made how many war porn games?
Yeah,
right.
Everything they make is war porn.
Fucking Infinity Ward literally hired Oliver North to be in one of their games.
Wait, really?
Yes,
Which
literal war crime.
Yeah.
Oliver
War
North.
criminal.
I want to say it was like Black Ops. There was one where it switches between the future and Vietnam.
Okay.
Yeah. Or like the 80s, maybe.
Is he in that one?
He's in one of them.
I want to say Ed Harris is in that one.
I know that Oliver North is in one of those games. I didn't play it. I didn't fucking play it. But I know that Ollie North is
what was the terrible space
literal war criminal.
Yeah.
That was Infinite Warfare.
Maybe, yeah, because that had Jon Snow as the dude, or Kit Harington as like the main villain.
There was one of those games that had fucking.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was pardoned.
I don't think that he was. Oliver North.
Yeah.
Yeah. God.
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I don't think that Oliver North was pardoned. I think he got he basically got blamed for, well, whatever. We don't need to get into fucking Oliver North on the Ron's Basement Show.
No. That's for the other. That's for Ron.
That's more of a midweek freak conversation.
Yeah.
No, it is.
Ron gets real.
No one wants to hear you talk about
kissing Kissinger at the Kissinger dating game. Great.
Yeah, but if it actually uses Kissinger's likeness and you got voice acting from Henry Kissinger,
Oh my god.
that's fucking. Also, I do want to just take a step back and say, I know that he was in a Call of Duty game. It's not necessarily an Infinity Ward Call of Duty game. I don't
Yeah,
remember
it could have
which
been
one
Treyarch or it could have been.
Sledgehammer.
Is that
I
the
think
one
is
with,
the other?
I don't know if
Spacey.
Sledgehammer's even doing
I
this
think
anymore.
yeah, I think they are. I think it's Sledgehammer, Treyarch, and which Treyarch is formerly Neversoft, right? And Infinity Ward.
How do you go from making skateboard games to?
Easy. You shutter your company and hire brand new people.
Yeah, you fucking. Here's how you go from making really good skateboarding games to then making DLC for Rock Band.
Yeah.
Or Guitar Hero rather.
Oh god.
To,
You guys remember
to
Harmonix?
Making DLC for Call of Duty to just alright, we're just gonna let you do the next Call of Duty.
Yeah. They basically wanted to pump out a Call of Duty every year, and that's been their schedule.
And that's what they do. But
Yeah.
but the cool thing is that they've got 3 studios who are on 3-year cycles.
Mm-hmm.
So Infinity Ward has 3 years to make a game, and then Treyarch has 3 years to make a game, and they're all working at the same time. So a new Call of Duty comes out every year, but it's made by different studios. I actually think that's really cool because it's not like
it's efficient.
it's efficient, and it also gives them enough time to make the game not be shitty. Like. So
Like
I will
Madden
tell you,
comes out every year,
people
it's the
generally
same.
like the Call of Duty games when they come out. Like they review high like all consistently, and hopefully people at those studios aren't worked to death because they had 3 years to make one. So
yeah, say what you will about Activision, but sometimes they know what they're doing.
yeah, I think that's smart.
And like again, obviously there was the big Blizzard stuff where like Activision got in and we're like, okay,
Yeah,
fire all these people, fire all these things. We're gonna pay ourselves out, big bonuses, all that. But we'll see what happens.
yeah.
They're already starting to turn around. I mean, it sucks and it's not good, and probably shouldn't support them, but we still do.
I hope that they do right. I hope that Blizzard does right in Shadowlands.
Dude, so
A lot
much
of
good
people seem
quality of
hyped
life.
about it. I just hope that
I'm gonna play it no matter what. So
Bobby Kotick, Bobby Kotick.
Thank you.
He takes a shit in his own cereal about twice a decade.
Yeah. But then he immediately turned around and donated $1 million to Black Lives Matter just to be like after that.
Of course he did. He's
Yeah.
gonna try and figure his way out of.
So now the CEOs have to, or now all the people are like, well, we can't fire him now.
Bobby Kotick is one of those examples of a thing that you don't hear of as much anymore, which is like he's a business guy first
Yeah.
and like a video game guy second, like
Or third.
He's like munching on cigars, just figuring out a way to make the next best game of all time. Like, if you think about that studio or that company and the things that they've done, like fucking Tony Hawk on top of the world with Tony Hawk, right?
Yeah.
Those games were so fucking popular. Guitar Hero, somehow even more popular than Tony Hawk. Call of Duty, somehow wildly more popular than the thing before it. And Bobby Kotick is just riding. He's surfing that fucking wave like fucking.
Wide banjo.
He's riding that wave like fucking Kurt Russell in Escape from LA. Right? He's just like woo going. He's just riding that fucking wave.
Right. And like that's the thing. Like he, one of the things that he also did was for those of you like Overwatch. The whole reason it's even where it's at is because he took members of the Call of Duty teams who weren't currently in an active cycle and were like, go help them.
Figure this shit out because
They're
I think
dumb.
the history of Overwatch is funny because it was like a failed
Titan,
MMO or whatever, and they're like, yo, dude, you can't just sit on this forever. You gotta fucking put out a game, bro. And they finally put out a game, and it turned out to be like really big.
And that's the thing. Like, and I hope they give them the amount of time they need because like there's no way that I'm not interested in Overwatch 2. I have I don't care. I'm
was
done.
barely interested in the first
Overwatch. Yeah.
In my opinion, when I saw that, I was like, you know what? I played a lot of
TF2.
class-based.
Yeah.
Exactly. I played a lot of TF2.
Yeah.
Not nearly as much as this guy.
Yeah.
Let me just clarify. But I played a lot of TF2, and I'm good on class-based, like objective-based shooters.
I would
like
go
that.
back to play TF2. Like
It's still probably active, honestly.
I don't know if I could go back.
No.
Like, if we all got together and went back, decided to play it for a couple weeks, I would be okay with that, and that would probably be more than enough time spent playing it.
But yeah, that's the whole thing. Like, they're very, very smart with figuring out what needs to be done, and I hope, because like Diablo got a whole new team. It's Rod Ferguson leading Diablo now. So like,
Really?
yeah, he left Gears and they picked him up, and now he's where they also picked up a bunch of other people too. But they're like, no, we're gonna fix these problems, and we're gonna put something out. Rod Ferguson's known as the shipper. Like, he is get away from last week's conversation of fandoms. But, no.
You know who else is the shipper? Heather.
Boom! But no, he's the only reason why Bioshock Infinite even came out. Like, basically, he came in and got it right on track and got it out the door. The game was in, like, development
Man,
hell.
talk about a game that didn't live up to what it was supposed to be.
You know, I have a lot of questions about... we should talk about Bioshock Infinite really quick, because at the time that game came out, I remember everyone was like, fuck, dude, this game is crazy. The story's so good. Like, people fucking love that game. In the year of our Lord 2020, can you find anybody who has good things to say about Bioshock Infinite now? Because I like people who've played it recently. Because I've never seen a group of people turn on a game so hard than on Bioshock Infinite. People don't like that game anymore. They think it's a straight up bad game.
It's
like,
not a bad game.
I don't think it's a bad game. It just wasn't what was promised.
No, it was definitely like, oh, remember all this cool stuff you could do? Well, that's not here anymore. And then the end story was kind of like a quick...
Like, the story stuff in particular, I remember when I played that game, I was never a huge Bioshock Infinite guy in the first place. Because at the time that I played that game, I remember that the story was so both sidesy.
Yes.
Right? Is like, you have this fucking racist, horrible structure, like, government, basically. And this class of people who are held up by it, and then you have like the underclass, right?
Yeah, like
who are
the
all
Vox
the workers
Populi, yeah.
and the people who are shoveling coal into stuff like that. Yeah, Vox Populi.
Yeah.
And then they would turn around and be like, but guess what, man? Those people are fucking just as bad.
Yeah, they did like a time shift thing.
They're fighting for their freedom, but guess what? It's just as bad.
They're doing violence.
They're doing violence too.
So what
they're
they
hurting
did,
people.
for those of you who
they're
don't
just
know,
as bad. Fuck off
Yeah.
with that shit.
They jumped into the future. Like, the whole point of the game was like fucking with time streams. And like the one thing is they jumped into it where like the Vox Populi actually took over the city and burned it down and were like horrible. And a lot of the pre-release stuff was a lot worse with the Vox Populi. Surprisingly enough, they actually toned it down. Like, they were like horrible people in all the pre-release footage and stuff like that, where they tried to like abduct I can't remember her name.
Elizabeth,
yeah. And there was like a whole bunch of other stuff like that. But they like took that all out, and then you got basically like a shell of a game that was just kind of like, this is a cool topic that we're never going to touch. Hey, here's another cool topic, but we're really not going to go into it. It's like, keep the story going on the train track.
I just remember at the time thinking like, this game is so like both sides are actually bad that I didn't even really like it then, and I think it's only aged even more poorly today.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's like that story, like the concept is so much worse today than it was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah.
I can agree with that.
I still say, like, I've never seen people like like turn so hard on a game, and I want to hear someone who's actually good at like expressing themselves, like explain why they changed their mind on it. Like, I've emailed several podcasts that I listen to and said, like, you know, at the time this game came out, you said it was good. Now you say it's bad. What changed? I'm not arguing that they were wrong back then.
You just want to know.
I just want to know, like, what in your mind changed, or what, like, what parts of the game, like, do you think aged poorly, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you get a lot of the, it's like the fandom, it's like rampancy fandom. It came out, everybody loved Bioshock, and Bioshock's great. So you get everybody who plays it, and they don't actually absorb what they're playing.
I wonder if some of it comes down to, it was a time when you could buy reviews. So positive reviews
I don't
for
think
it
it-
are maybe bought.
No, I really think that people just really
Yeah.
liked that game.
I think they really enjoyed it.
There are
Like,
people who I trust,
Mm-hmm.
who I know, like people who I trust who say that they liked that game, right? Who I trust to not take
Yeah.
money for a review.
Yeah.
And then now say like, actually, that game kind of sucks. Like not just like, oh, you know what, that game, I
So
don't,
you think they were
it's
just
okay.
caught up
It's
in
like
the
straight up like
BioShock?
that's a bad game.
Yeah.
You
So
think they're just caught up in Bioshock fandom that they're just excited to have another Bioshock?
Right, it's
game?
like
I think that's part of it, and also like the storyline where like you're like the overarching storyline of like time loops and like different timelines and stuff.
Right, I'm a sucker for that shit, but yeah.
I think
Well,
people
yeah.
like that stuff, and also the way that it ends is so open ended.
yeah.
It's like, you know, there's always a man, there's always a lighthouse, that kind of thing. I think people like fell into that and then forgot about a lot of the other shit in that game that's actually really terrible.
Right.
Like a lot of the way they make it look like, I'll be honest with you, they make it look like, hey, guess what? White culture is actually really awesome, and all these black people are doing bad things. Like that stuff I think is terrible. I think that stuff is like, I don't know. I think that's the stuff that they do really, really poorly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to hear someone who's more articulate go into detail on why they changed their mind on it.
You also get like the Halo fandom problem that I like to mess with all the time. Like Halo 5 came out and like everybody loved it for the first month. Everybody put out videos about how great
I got
it was.
shit on Reddit because when the beta came out, I went to I posted something on like our Halo like, why are you guys all so fucking happy about this fucking Call of Duty 4 ripoff? Like,
It's all Call of Duty.
it's just Call of Duty and you have jetpacks
Yeah.
like the newest Call of Duty, and everyone was like, it's not Call of Duty.
Game's
It
gotta
was
evolve, dude. Game's gotta evolve.
Just shit on me.
But yeah, so then a month after it came out, all of a sudden now somebody puts out a YouTube
Everybody
video.
hates it.
It's like, hey man, Halo 5 kind of sucked. And then everyone's like, yeah, oh my god, blah, 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 it was terrible. And it's like, where were you a month ago? Like, when?
I'm one of those people who like loved the first Halo game, and then when Halo 2 came out, was like slightly disappointed in Halo 2.
Yeah.
Which like looking back on it, Halo 2 is probably the better game. Like, I don't think that's controversial to say. But then when Halo 3 came out, like Halo 3 was great because of Xbox Live. It was
Yeah.
like the first game where Xbox Live was really super popular. Like when everybody I knew had Xbox Live, everybody I knew had a headset, everybody was on Halo 3 every single night.
We all got Halo 3 the same night at Meyer together.
Yeah.
I think I lived in Mansfield at the time,
Oh, okay.
but like I was probably playing with you guys like that night.
Were you? Because I think Eric.
It was me, Eric,
living
and
with you?
Hugh.
No, Eric.
Okay.
No, it was
Because you guys were there with.
We beat the game.
me,
Yeah, we beat
Alex,
the game that night.
Me, Alex, Zach Motter, and our 3 other roommates that we had, who you never met. But we all got it the night it came out, and yeah, we all had Xbox Live. We're all playing it, and that was like the golden era of Xbox Live. Looking back on it, I don't think that Halo 3 was as good of a game as I thought. I think it's really just like Xbox Live
Yeah.
was great. It was the first time you got to do that. Like
I remember playing a lot of
I
Halo
played-
2 on Xbox Live.
Halo 2 was great on Xbox Live, but it was not. I don't think it
It
was
wasn't quite.
No,
what
it was
3
wonky.
became.
Yeah.
like on the original Xbox, because it was on the original Xbox,
Yeah.
and the original Xbox was like not built for Xbox Live. Like doing parties and shit like that, it didn't exist.
Right.
So like
it existed only in the game. Like,
Halo 3 was like the first time you really got that, and I think that Halo 3 it's less than the sum of its parts, I think is what I'm getting at. Like Xbox Live really made that game,
Oh yeah.
and I don't think it was as good as I remember it. Like I don't think
I
I could.
played it
It'd
again
probably
recently.
be easier to go back to Halo 1 than it would to be to go back to Halo 3.
I can honestly tell you, I played a lot of Halo 3 on the Master Chief Collection, and
No,
I
you
love it.
could probably go back
Yeah.
to Halo 3 pretty easy.
Yeah.
I bet
Would,
you Halo
would I have
3
fun with it? Is
Yeah.
the question. I think I would have more fun with Halo 1.
Yeah. Honestly. Yeah, Halo 3's Forge was pretty bad at the start because it was an idea of just like putting items on a map, And then as they put out the DLC, that's when you got like the big maps that like you could actually go in and recreate anything. And then that was like the first one of it. And then eventually they kind of evolved that with like Foundry and stuff like that. But then like Halo Reach is where they took everything and were like, here's a big ass map that you can just make whatever you want on. Set your spawn points, set your stuff, here you go.
I want to say I owned Reach, but I really did not play much of it. I think I played more Reach on my PC than I ever played.
Played off.
Because they just
ton of
released
Reach.
it for the Master Chief Collection on PC, and I played a little bit of it.
Yeah. I did
for a
played
few
lot of
nights.
Reach.
I did the legendary run through. I was like,
I've been thinking about playing Halo on the old midweek freak.
I think you should.
One of our viewers suggested it. His name is Bob Lewis, and
I think you should do couch co-op games on it. I think that would be fun to watch.
Jesus.
yeah, Rachel says my ex let me borrow it, and I got to play maybe 20 minutes of Halo 3, and then my ex was like, actually, I'm going to take this back. Yeah, you know why that is? Because his crew was all ready to play Halo 3. Because
Yeah.
Halo 3 was the game. The first game that I remember breaking the Halo 3, like nightly, every night, 7 days a week, every night Halo 3 thing,
Yeah.
was fucking GTA 4.
Yeah.
The GTA 4 online, everybody fucking go to the airport, everybody steal a fucking plane, everybody fucking drive in circles and fucking shoot each other up and shit. There was no game in GTA 4 online. There was nothing to
Nothing.
do. You just fucking open world played with each
Yeah.
other. It was awesome.
Yeah, the water's finished.
I drank all the water. I did my 10. It shouldn't have let you do that. Unless I somehow did 9.
Yeah, Call of Duty, and then Call of Duty came out a little bit later, or 2005 was Call of Duty? And that was the first one they were like, hey, this Halo thing's pretty good, we should just do this.
And Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2,
Man,
probably one of the best games of all time.
Kimbo 1886.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I played a lot of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and that's probably the one Call of Duty game that I got into. All the rest of them, whatever. But my friend group wasn't into Modern Warfare 1. Like, we didn't play Modern Warfare 1. We played fucking Halo 3 still.
Yeah.
Like, we just fucking played Halo 3.
I remember sitting in Xbox Live chat with you guys, like every night, just playing different games. Like none of us would even be playing the same game.
Yeah, in like a party
Just
chat.
party chat.
God. Played a lot of games. But yeah, that's,
I remember Modern Warfare 2, you were like in space and the fucking nuke goes off.
yeah!
It was like like an astronaut, and they're like, it's like the U.S. government is like commandeering their astronaut. They're like, all right, look, 40 degrees east, and you're like looking over here, and you're like, all right, Charlie, we've got visual contact, and then it fucking blows up, and he gets like blown off the space station.
Yeah,
That shit was
sweet.
cool. They had a lot of like moments like that.
Oh yeah.
Because that was also the game where, or no, that wasn't, that might have
Soap
been
was Modern Warfare 1. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I know what you're
That
talking
might have
about.
been like the moment in Modern Warfare 2 campaign that I remember.
Yeah. Modern Warfare 1 ended with like the gunshot blow up thing and everything. You got shot. Or did you get nuked in 1? I can't
I
remember.
think in the one you did get nuked.
Okay. And then somehow you survived. It's like that character survived.
Oh, that's the other Modern Warfare 2 thing. No Russian.
Ah,
That was
yeah.
Yeah.
that was the other moment in Modern Warfare 2. That was like the moment in Modern Warfare 2, honestly.
God.
Especially if you were an overprotected WASP parent.
Yeah.
Then the only thing you cared about was no Russian. Which, in the scheme of things, is like nothing. It's like the 15 seconds of the game, and
Yeah. And it actually sets up the villain group. Like,
yeah.
it's like, oh, hey, look, they're going to do this thing that actually gives you... It was just a 90s action movie.
Right.
Like, it was like a Chuck Norris wet dream thing.
Right.
Like, but yeah, it's like...
And you could do it without shooting the gun, too.
Yeah.
I remember they did it so, like, you don't have to shoot the civilians.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know. Modern Warfare 2 was a great game.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of... I've been chasing the feeling of those Halo 3 and Modern Warfare 2 days for a long time.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever played an online game that caught my attention and the attention of my friend group as much.
Like, I still have, like, a group of friends that, like, periodically will get into games. They'll just be like Tribes. That was a big one for us. We played a fuck ton of Tribes. Right now, we all powered back on for Titanfall 2. So it's like, sooner or later, sometimes some game hits and it's just like, let's all just get on this game. And
Yeah.
But nothing will ever capture coming home from school and just like flipping on your 360
Right,
and being
right.
like, who's online? I don't care who's online. I'm joining your party.
Right.
Like, it's like, Billy online? Fuck. Sitting in the fucking glitch lobbies for like forever.
Yeah,
That's all we would
night
do.
all night long till fucking, and it holds a special place in my heart because it was my freshman year of college. So like, what would we do is we would play Halo 3 until 3:00 in the morning, and then me and all my roommates would then converge into the living room, sit down, and just watch whatever garbage was on TV at 3 a.m. Which 90% of the time.
Adult Swim.
No.
No.
This was like that. This was like late enough that Adult Swim was not on anymore.
Oh, okay.
Like this was like you're talking about like 4 a.m. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
the things that were on TV were like infomercials, which we would fucking watch an infomercial. If we had to, we would fucking do it. We would watch an infomercial. The best infomercials were the ones that were live, like they're probably pre-recorded, but they looked
Yeah.
live, and they, like QVC style, like shopping
Yeah.
channel style. I remember the one that got us real good was the toys for women.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say it because of terms of service.
Yeah.
And you would call the toy line, and you would have to choose. There would be two numbers, one for if you're a man and one if you're a woman. Like they had two separate ones. Like if you're a man, you can call blah blah blah. If you're a woman, you can call blah 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 blah. And then it would have these women who were just like talking about these toys for an hour, like just for an hour, and they're modeling them and like showing them and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, man, we would watch that shit and just cackle and laugh. And then the other that's the other thing is like we were all fucking sober. Like it wasn't like we weren't drunk or high. It was just 4:00 in the morning. The other thing that we would watch a lot is To Catch a Predator.
Yeah.
Because it would be on all night long on like
Yeah.
I can't remember the TV channel that did it, but I think it's like basically like True TV now.
Yeah.
Court TV, I want to say is what it was, but Court TV or whatever would have To Catch a Predator, and we would just watch To Catch a Predator all night.
So good.
And then I would go to sleep for an hour and wake up to go to a class that started at like 7:15.
God. Those are good times.
And I
miss that shit.
Maddie says he misses the VCR days, but dude, there's a VCR upstairs in my
Probably 5 feet from him.
yeah.
Dude, do you remember your old TV that used to fucking glitch out when
Yeah.
you like go on certain levels in Halo?
Anytime white would come on screen, the whole TV would be like until the whiteness went off the screen. Something was wrong with that TV. Also, the power button was off, so I'd always carry a pencil so I could stick the eraser in there and hit the button to turn the TV on.
I had like the same TV. Like mine was a little bit of an older model or whatever, but like I had the same problem. I had to like turn it on with a pen.
Yeah,
It's like-
yeah. Yeah, I remember that all of us, I mean, we might as well have just kept our TVs and shit in our cars.
Yeah.
Like when we were like 17 and we would just 17, 18. The thing I always remember is the year between when we left for college and we graduated from high school, because that was when we spent every single weekend fucking playing Halo 2 on LAN or Halo 1 on LAN at Pew's house or at Zach Motter's house.
Or a church.
Or at a random church. And
one time.
we were hungry, man. We were hungry for Halo LAN parties. Wherever we could fucking find a Halo LAN party, we were going there. Even if it was at a church.
Yeah.
And even if we only stayed there for an hour because it was too awkward.
Boys, little kids in Halo.
Just whooping child ass in a church. Just whooping their ass at Halo 2.
They'll step up. Oh, man.
That's how I learned. I remember we were in programming and we learned how to make a fucking original Xbox cable, one of those cables that you could use to connect two Xboxes. You remember how that was different than a
crossover?
regular crossover cable. So we would we fucking in our class with Mr. Stevens, like begging him to use like, oh, we want to make like a 25-foot cable. Can we do that? And then we would fucking make our own cable and fucking use it at Zach Motter's house when we needed like a 50-foot fucking cable. We just made one.
Remember you showed the one day with the huge one? I'm like, Rob, what the fuck? Like, oh, he let me build it. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Mr. Stevens, he didn't know what the fuck we were doing. We were just
he knew
making
exactly what we were
I
doing.
mean,
He
yeah,
didn't
that's
give a
probably
shit.
true.
It's like,
yeah. I look fondly on those days, but also I'm glad that we don't have to do it. You know what's awesome about my house now is that we could do a LAN party here, and you could just plug into the wall.
yeah.
Like I got because I jacked it up. This room doesn't have one, but the next room over does. We got fucking switches and routers and fucking. I don't even know what that other thing's called. It's not a switch or a router. It's a.
Router.
No, it's you like punch the cables into it. I don't remember what it's called. Jacob got it for me.
Oh,
Some kind of board, some kind of switch.
it's fine. Yeah. Hub.
ISR? No, it's Heather. What's that thing called?
What?
What's that thing called?
I don't know.
Heather doesn't know.
Port, hub, switch.
I don't know.
Dumb
It's something.
switch.
You guys want to play the Zappy game?
Yep, let's do it.
Come on,
I'm
Bob.
good.
All right.
I'm gonna lose. Fuck this game. My hands are sweaty too.
Am I turning it the wrong way? Okay.
Please turn it down.
Fuck. Ah, damn.
I dropped
Why
it.
did I?
So long.
Damn.
God damn it. Fucking Zappy game.
It went on so long.
Don't crate to the max. Oh,
Oh.
child, I hate that.
No, I was on the lowest
Yeah.
setting.
Oh, Maddie's like, crank it up.
I lose all the time, so I would just keep it at the lowest setting. Oh, well, gentlemen, it was good chatting with you today.
That was fun. It was a good, nice, calm, bullshit episode.
Yeah, we're just hanging out. We're just chatting. You know, just hanging out with the homies. As you do. What do you guys got going on? You want to plug anything?
No, honestly. I don't have anything going on.
Bob,
Fucking
anything
Corona.
going
I
on?
don't have anything going on right now.
Making a sour beer. It's gonna be great.
You should bring it to the Ron's Basement show sometime.
I will. I might keg it, so I might just have to bring the whole keg.
Okay. I don't know.
What kind of drinker are you? Oh, I carry a keg around.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to transport a full keg in your
No,
car?
what I'll
Yeah,
do?
why not?
What I'll do is I'll put it in a
Like
growler.
open.
It's not open.
It's not open.
I mean, it's not within reaching.
Yeah.
It'll be in my
I'll
trunk.
put it in a growler or a bomber, and then just like seal it up and bring it over.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
that's like
sounds
the best
alright.
part of that.
Okay.
It's gonna be like 3 weeks from now before it's even ready. No, I still
Yeah.
have to do. It's gonna be a minute. Hey.
Butcher Witch, thanks for the follow.
Welcome.
Appreciate that follow, Butcher Witch. You tuned in just in time for us to end the stream. What? You're Bob's flashing gang signs at me.
Yeah, stop that.
I finished all my water. I think we did good. We yelled about Cyberpunk 2077. More to come on that. We'll see how it goes. You know, maybe it'll be good. I don't know.
I don't think they're gonna do what you want.
I got Bob's cyberpunk weapon right here. It's the
They don't
keyboard
have to do what
sword.
I want, but I want them to do better than they're doing.
I mean, but they're not.
I want them to do better.
They're not
they don't
gonna
have to
wanna,
do what
they
I
don't wanna
want.
offend anyone.
Yeah,
They
it's
want
phasing it out.
everyone. Even the games that have had like
There's nobody.
outrage
Who's
at
going to
them.
be offended?
Nobody.
Are people offended at Blade Runner?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
No.
It's a
I'm sure
shit
they
movie.
aren't. But also, if Blade Runner came out and like
Nice.
actually had that now,
No, you know what? I saw a funny tweet that was like, you know what? The most unrealistic part of Blade Runner is that the idea that a cop would get fired after killing one human.
yeah.
Aww.
Yikes.
Oof.
Okay, folks.
And
Thanks
on
for
that
joining
note-
us. On that note, we're gonna go ahead and sign off. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for hanging out.
Tune into the Midweek Freak. We're gonna play Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Bye.